Hello, I am Joy Sarah Sunday. I'm the founder, producer, and creative director of Sunday's Theatre. And today I am at Optimal Healthcare with the head of laboratory.
Mrs. Joyola Badmos.
We're namesake. Okay, so we're partnering with Optimal Healthcare to give 150 women free access to HIV testing. And I'm just here with Mrs. Joy. Oh my God, this is very sweet. I'm here with Mrs. Joy to talk about a few questions around HIV and AIDS and also give everyone insight into what the whole thing would be like. Are you ready, ma'am?
Sure.
How simple and straightforward is the HIV testing process? Like, can you give us a step-by-step walk through what someone would experience when they come for an HIV test?
Basically, it's not a complicated test at all.
Right.
One just has to be psychologically ready for what to expect in
Yes.
case the result turns out positive or negative. Just be psychologically ready
Okay.
to accept whatever the result turns out to be.
So majorly psychological
Yes, you just psychological. I'm
preparation.
making up your mind. I want to get tested.
Okay, so how long does it take from the moment the test is done till the test results are out?
Give or take 1 hour,
Okay.
because you would have to have a pre-counseling section before the test is actually done, and then you wait for a couple of minutes before the result comes out. So give or take max 1 hour.
Oh, so basically when someone walks up and they want to do their test, there is first of all a pre-counseling session.
Yes.
And then after that you do your test and
Yes.
in 1
Wait
hour
for the results.
the test
All
result.
that takes 1 hour.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Are test results confidential?
Very confidential. Very confidential because we ensure that the persons that have access to running the test, even our conversation during the pre-counseling session with the patient, it's very confidential because it is in a secluded area where we are sure that there's no other person in the room, there's nobody overhearing our conversation, and then even the test procedure, we're professionals, and we know what it takes, what confidentiality means when it comes to patient's results. So no third party is involved in the patient result. So we and the person involved is the only persons that have access to that result. So to confidentiality, we're sure of that, and accuracy, top notch.
Okay. Yes, is the test painful in any way?
Well, the thing about pain is what's painful to me may not be painful to you. Exactly. So, it depends on your pain threshold. It's not painful. It's just a needle prick. Either we prick your thumb or we draw blood, as the case may be.
So it's just like normal injection.
Just normal injection.
Are there support systems in place for people who actually test positive? Because as much as we don't want anybody to test positive, we're not in control of what the outcome of the result might be. So are there support systems in place here at Optimal Healthcare? Are there treatment facilities? Are there drugs? What happens for a person who eventually tests positive?
For one that tests positive in Optimal Health or at the outreach, we have NGOs that we partner with. Such that when we have a positive case, we refer them to these persons and then they take it off from them. Yes, we have them in Ibadan.
In Ibadan.
Yes, we have them in Ibadan.
That is beautiful.
Yeah.
Because most times when I hear things like the first place that comes to mind is Lagos.
we have NGOs that handle them. They take it up from there. They have antiretroviral drugs that they actually administer.
So they are actually drugs.
Yes, we have drugs, to manage.
Okay, because I think from what I know, it is HIV first before it becomes AIDS.
Yes.
So both AIDS and HIV, both of them are not curable.
No, they're just managed. HIV is when one is exposed to
the virus.
When it says to have HIV, if the result comes out positive, then if untreated over time is when it becomes full-blown AIDS. Yes.
Okay. Yes. What would you say to someone who's afraid of getting tested? Because there are people who have this mentality of what you don't know cannot kill you. So they'd rather stay in that blissful ignorance that I don't know. So what would you say?
Well, when it comes to your health in general and then narrow down to HIV, I would say ignorance is bliss is not a thing.
It doesn't apply.
It doesn't apply. Actually, it doesn't apply because the earlier you know the status, the better. So because they say early detection saves lives, and yes, that's true because when you know on time that one has HIV, before it becomes full blown AIDS, can be tackled. Because the longer you stay, the worse. Yes, the worse it gets because your immune system is being compromised. And then you're exposed to
so many
other things. Yes. Actually, there's a general misconception about HIV that it's transmitted only through sex. which is actually not, it is true to some extent, but not just restricted to sex alone.
Yes.
HIV can equally be transmitted through bodily fluids.
Yes.
It can be transmitted through blood. You know,
Yes.
people that do this tattooing stuff, you know,
Yes.
if the sharp object being used
Yes.
to do the tattoo,
clippers,
yes, the clippers, yes,
microblading, nails
exactly. Anything that
fixing.
has to do with like any sharp object that
Yes.
is applied to the skin that
Yes.
has the tendency of, you know, giving you a cut and exposing blood
Yes. Yes.
can actually, you know, transmit this. And even through the breast milk too. It's one of the ways in which it can be transmitted. So narrowing it down to just sex, I don't think it's wholesome.
Yes, I was also going to talk about paranoia.
Okay.
Because if I'm to be sincere, sometimes I get paranoid, right? I've done my tests and I'm okay. But then I get paranoid, like when I'm going to, I don't fix my nails all the time because I do not like to be exposed to all these sharp objects.
Okay.
The last time I went to get my microblading done, I was like, please, hope I'm fine. So, for how do people deal with paranoia, especially for people who feel that now that we have said that sex is not the only way to transmit it. So even if you're not sexually active, you're still not 100% safe. So how do people deal with the paranoia of, oh my God, anywhere, anything can happen?
Well, what I would say, don't be paranoid. You know, I'm not living in an exclusive bubble of just you. Interact with other people. Although HIV cannot be transmitted through hugs, through kissing, except probably there's a cut that exposes blood and then there's an exchange.
Yeah.
But besides that, you cannot transmit it that way. It's not just exclusive to sex, like I mentioned earlier. For personal items, I would encourage, like for the guys that have to barb their hair, they have their personal clippers. Don't trust that, oh, my guy is going to sterilize the clipper is going to use and all that. Get yours. So it's just for you. For ladies, you can have your own pack. If you have to, maybe blades or other things that you can use when you want to make you fix your nails or your hair and all that. So just have your own personal pack for yourself. At least you're trying your own best in your own way to make sure that you're good. Yeah.
Okay. So instead of dealing with paranoia, make sure you take care of your
take care of your own personal stuff.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was speaking with one of my friends. Let me just even be frank. I was speaking with one of my friends, and there's this thing where they say everybody in Lagos is crazy. So she is in Lagos and she's sexually active. She's not married though. And she was talking about the fact that people go around with their HIV test results. So when we want to have sex, I'll say, here's my results. Here's my results. Does that still mean you're safe?
Well, I would say there's the window period when it comes to HIV, where even when one is okay, now that result, we don't know when it was taken, don't know how long ago it was taken. Now, if you take your test last year, January, and you're going about with a last year, January result of an HIV negative, you know, that's not valid. You know, so there's a window period when it comes to HIV, such that when one is exposed to the virus, it's not immediately that, you know, it shows that, yes, it's not immediately reflects.
So wait, so that means someone might have gone to do a test.
Yes, and it comes out negative. But they meanwhile, the person has the virus. Yes. Yes. So it's good to, you know, periodically check. That person that is taking the results, you know, you can't use last year's results to determine your status now.
So usually what's the window period?
It's about 3 months.
How do partnerships, for example, now your Optimal Healthcare is partnering with Sunday's Theatre and the Unbridled Collective. How do partnerships like this align with Optimal Healthcare's mission statement?
Okay, so one of the goals of Optimal Healthcare is providing quality healthcare service. Now, many persons, they are reluctant actually, you know, knowing their status, just like you mentioned, fear of the needle, fear of what the result is, you know. So if you wouldn't come to us, we will come to you.
If
because
Mohammed
doesn't go to the mountain will definitely come to Mohammed, you know, because you being fine in the long run is every other person around you being fine, you know. So you are sure that you're clean, so that you reduce the risk of transmission and, you know.
Okay. So basically, this partnership aligns because with us, you're bringing it out to people to make sure that everyone gets quality healthcare.
Exactly.
Beyond HIV testing, what other diagnostic services does Optimal Healthcare provide?
Besides HIV testing, other laboratory tests that we do, we check your kidneys, check your livers, check your cholesterol levels, check your sugar levels, general body checks. And also, since we are talking to the ladies,
women,
yes, you can do a pap smear, cervical screening.
Pap smear
yes,
test,
we do a pap smear
Wow,
test. Yeah.
because pap smear is very cancer is like the number one killer of women nowadays. It's a very major thing. Breast cancer, cervical cancer, so many other things. So people can come in here and get their
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
so basically people can come here. You can come here even outside the tests which we are offering.
Yeah.
You can come here and do your pap smear test, do your HIV test, kidney test, liver tests, everything.
Yeah.
All right, all right. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank
I had
you.
a great time.
Thanks
Thank you
so
so much
much.
for this
Thank you.
interview.
Thank you.